How do we stop the Islamists taking over Tower Hamlets? How do we build a Christian civilization? Get curious about that. When we've protected ourselves from Islamists, then let's have the conversation about the Pope. The focus of Christianity is on the people of God and the New Covenant. When we replace the New Covenant people of God with the nation state, we weaken ourselves as Christians.
Nationalism is of value.
No, nationalism is only of value insofar as it serves Christ.
Action!
Right, so the brother asked, it's cold. The brother asked about Dawa tables.
Okay.
And about, are there Christians willing to set up Dawa something like a Christian equivalent? And I'm glad you asked the question, because I really wish Christians would.
Okay.
I beg every Christian that watches these videos, stop shouting at people on street corners.
Yes, don't do it.
You're doing terrible evangelism by preaching at people.
Shouting.
Instead, set up book tables and have conversations with people, like you see the Dawa tables. And also, Christians, stop approaching the Dawa tables. Because when you approach them, you make it easier for other people to approach them as well. Leave them be, ignore them, and then set up your own Christian table and have conversations with people. And that's how we need to be doing evangelism. Does that answer your question? And to answer your question, right, you be the Christians that set it up. Go and talk to other Christians in your area. Go and talk to other Christians in your church and other churches, and you set up the tables. I beg the church in the United Kingdom that in every village, in every town, and in every city, that there are Christian tables with Christian books and Bibles set up in every major commercial centre, every city centre, so that there is a Christian street presence everywhere. Let's make the street preachers redundant. Okay, any other questions?
I have a question regarding the Pope. When I started being a Catholic, you're a Catholic as well, from what I understand.
I'm not a Roman Catholic.
You're not a Roman Catholic?
I'm not a Roman Catholic. I belong to the one Holy Catholic and Apostolic Church, which is the same one Holy Catholic and Apostolic Church that everybody belongs to. But I want to maybe just ask this guy a question. Like, do you want to see him run away?
Raj.
Yeah.
So you don't believe in the Pope?
No, I do believe in the Pope.
But do you think he's infallible on morals, for example?
No, I don't.
So you're more like an Orthodox on that?
No, I'm not. I'm. So, bro, firstly, I'm not interested in denominations.
Okay.
And these questions that Christians obsess around are not the helpful questions that we need to be engaging in. What me and you need to be engaging in is, how do we build a Christian civilization?
Fair enough.
How do we stop the Islamists taking over? How do we help the persecuted Christians in Nigeria? These are the questions that we need to be thinking
Just
about.
asking out of curiosity.
Yeah, but
because a lot of Catholics believe in the Pope.
But the point is, this curiosity is not helpful. Okay. What you need to get curious about is, how do we stop the Islamists taking over Birmingham? How do we stop the Islamists taking over Tower Hamlets? How do we build a Christian civilization? Get curious about that. And then when we've protected ourselves from Islamists, so that none of our churches can be under attack and none of us can be persecuted, then let's have the conversation about the Pope.
Okay, fair enough.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go on.
Why do you think the Christianity in England and in Britain start to slowly fade away? Because Christianity is what built the British Empire and allowed it to spread. Why did it start slowly fading away?
Well, it wasn't Christianity that allowed the British Empire to spread.
It built it.
It didn't. No. It was the British Empire was a liberal empire, and it was liberalism that killed Christianity in the UK. Until we Christians learn to separate out liberal secularism from Christianity and understand that liberalism is not Christianity, we're going to constantly be fighting with one hand behind our back. And that means we've got to recognize where liberalism splits off from Christianity and how it is distinct from Christianity. So the thing that made the British Empire big was liberalism. Christianity went along for the ride, but liberalism killed Christianity in the UK. And that when we reject liberalism and embrace a muscular Christianity, then and only then are we going to see a resurgence of the church. I hope that answers your question.
But can liberals, do they have the ideological strength to build society?
Liberals don't know.
Because they're not like very good working together, building stuff, like creating like the industrial revolution, like the ideas are not strong enough to build industry and things like that.
Well, no, the liberal ideas are strong enough to build industrialization. Liberalism is all about
get people together.
liberalism is all about rationalization and the rationalization of society. But the point is, society is more than simply rational choices towards material ends. It has to have values, it has to have a metaphysical outlook, it has to have a direction in life. And the truth of it is that Christianity provides that in a way that liberalism doesn't. The focus of liberalism is on the nation state. The focus of Christianity is on the people of God and the new covenant. When we replace the new covenant people of God with the nation state, we weaken ourselves as Christians. The state needs to serve the church, not the church serve the state, which is what the Church of England does. You know, and so the liberals don't have the strength. They don't have the strength to resist Islamization or to renew this society because it's spent all of its cultural resources. We need to reinvest in Christianity to enliven our souls. Does that make sense? Yeah.
How would you do that in the Muslim world, for example, where you have apostasy laws and you cannot spread the words of Jesus as easily because you can get to jail, you can be imprisoned, you can be, even killed.
Well,
spreading
the way that, I mean, Christians spread the message anyway. That's the first thing, is to ignore the law.
Yeah.
The next thing is also to create the kind of infrastructure by which the church can support converts. You know, a secret underground, as it were. But then also Christians outside of the Muslim world should be calling for the powers of the West to be forcing change on the Islamic world and to be carving out independent Christian states from within the Islamic occupied world, so that those Christian states can then be an evangelistic source and also a safe haven for converts and evangelism in the Muslim world.
Like an Israel but for Christians.
Yes, an Israel for Christians.
Which they sort of tried in Lebanon.
No, the French did not try that. The French set the Lebanese Christians up to fail because they tried to create they based it on their secular liberalism. They didn't try to set up a Christian state. They tried to set up a state that would always be dependent on France, just like they did in Africa. So they set the state up to fail so that it could be dependent on France,
When you look
which
at
screwed over the church. This is the problem with nationalism. The nationalists keep screwing the church over for national interest. This is why Christians should reject nationalism.
At the same time, it was the secular forces in the Muslim world that were the most capable of getting a lot of Muslims out of the faith. For example, the Kurds, they're very secular.
The Baathists.
No, the Kurds.
Yeah, I know the Kurds. Yeah.
The Kurds, or even Atatürk, for example.
Yeah.
He was very against religion, but very stringent
Yeah.
on Islamic religion.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people in the Islamic world became non-religious because of secular forces.
Yeah.
Like because of the Marxists in Kurdistan.
Liberal forces.
Atatürk.
Liberal forces.
Yeah, liberal forces.
Yeah, liberal forces. But is that what you want? A godless world?
Not really. I'm just saying that against the Islamists, they've also been fighting. Not
The best way to make Christians is to go put all your chips on Christianity. If you put 80% of your chips on Christianity and 20% of your chips on secular liberalism, you're undermining your own position.
As a Christian, yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Right, so we go all out for Christianity. We don't want a liberal secular Lebanon, we want a Christian Lebanon, which means we should work with Maronite Christians and other Christian communities in Lebanon to kick out Hezbollah, to destroy its infrastructure, to remove them from power, and to establish a Christian state. And that should be our ambition.
And how could you make it possible that, for example, some Muslims in Lebanon get to Christianity? Like, how would you?
You evangelize them. Because when the state is backing the evangelists, the first thing that happens is all the self-appointed thugs inside the Muslim community get dealt with. You've got to deal with those self-appointed thugs.
You're gonna raise up.
And then they can get put down again. So you get rid of all the thugs. You've got to stop being weak, bro. Like, you got to stop being weak, right? Stop being so soy, right? Like, it's simply this. If they rise up, they can be crushed. You get rid of all the thugs, the self-appointed mind police inside the Muslim community that gang patrol. Yeah, the Islamists. You get rid of those people, and then what will happen is the ordinary nice Muslims will actually listen to what you've got to say because they're not scared anymore, and they'll become Christian. Or some of them will. Yeah.
Well, how can you build a strong state?
crusader.
How can you
original
build
crusader
a
spirit,
strong
man.
state that's capable of doing that?
Right.
God
So we,
willing.
Like state like America,
Don't
like
mess
America
around
is
with
capable of
the
doing these
crusaders,
things that you say, right? America.
yeah.
How do you build that strength? How do you build it?
So we've
God
got to first commit ourselves as
type.
Christians to building a Christian state, and we work within the democratic process to get within power, and then we reorganize the state to make it strong enough to achieve the objectives of the gospel and the kingdom of God. And that means things like, for instance, you know, addressing the fact that we've got tons of people sitting on the welfare state not working, but we're all paying for them. We've got loads of people coming across because we've got no southern border and you can just jump on a boat and travel across. We've got to deal with these kind of situations. Liberals can't. The reason why the liberal elites can't is because they're an internationalized community that are Murray-bound by international treaties and international laws, so they literally can't move to the left or the right. What we need to do is tear up all of those agreements, tear up those international agreements, and do what is best for this country from a Christian perspective.
All right. So,
From a
and borders
Christian,
then.
from a
Borders,
Christian
Christian
perspective.
borders.
So that would mean, bro, that the British state would use its influence and its power to help persecuted Christians in Nigeria, persecuted Christians in Sudan, persecuted Christians in Ethiopia, persecuted Christians in Burma. And where it couldn't help them directly, it would encourage other Christians to do that.
But there would be borders that you
Yeah,
respect borders.
I mean, there has to be borders, of course. Everybody has
National
borders.
borders.
There has to be national borders, yes.
Okay,
Because you can't
nationalism
organise a
is of value.
society without borders.
Right. So
You know?
nationalism is of value.
No, nationalism is only of value insofar as it serves Christ. If it doesn't serve Christ, it is of no value. Like, there's nothing special about being British. There's nothing special about being American. There's nothing special about being Russian. What is these only gain value insofar as these identities serve Christ, His kingdom, and His church.
Right. So if Britain declares itself a Christian country, a Christian nation, then it's okay to
Yeah, and it
conserve
should
those borders.
and it should both declare that, but
Declare.
then declare it, and then pass laws accordingly. The reality is that on paper, the United Kingdom's already a Christian theocracy.
Yeah.
On
It was
paper,
built, yeah,
but
that's
it's
right.
not acting like one.
And
It's
the
not
Church of England's
behaving
there.
like one.
The Church of England's
Well,
still
exactly.
there,
The
the House
Church
of
of England.
Lords.
The Church of England's already a captured organisation. Anyway, guys, are we done? Great.
It was very interesting.
Lovely to talk to you. Peace be with you, bro. There you go. There we go.
Thanks a lot.
Yep, no worries. How you doing?
Bob?
I'm well.
How you doing?
I'm well,
Every
thank you.
night, Bob.
How we
Every
doing?
night we watch you.
Yeah, God bless you guys. You all right?
Can you take a photo with us, please?
Sorry?
Can you take a photograph?
Yeah, I'm trying to be an evangelist, but I seem to have been turned into a tourist attraction.
Let me just say, can you take a photo?
Take a photo.
Mary, take a photo.
IC3! IC3, can you take a photo? Let him. Trust him.
Yeah, of us.
He's trustworthy. Not everybody in this corner is trustworthy.
Okay.
You're great.
Not everybody in this corner is trustworthy. You've been very naive just handing out your corner to people.
And do it on 3. 1.
He's an agent. He's an agent. He's
But wait a
agent
minute.
there.
There we
You're
go.
Irish, you're supposed to be Catholic.
Christian.
But are you?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Peace be with you, sister. Peace be with you, brother. Be careful here. Right. All right. So, How we doing? Peace with you, brother. Peace with you. Right then, let's go find someone to talk to.